What's up, house groups? Welcome back. I'm excited that groups are up and running again and just genuinely looking forward to this season of intentionally connecting with one another and chasing a bigger, better vision of who God is and who He created us to be. And I feel like God's going to do some big things this year. So I'm looking forward to it. On Sunday, we kicked off this new series called Monday Matters. We're talking about work because there's beauty, meaning, and purpose to be found in what we do if we can just collapse the gap between the sacred and the secular in our minds and realize there was never meant to be any separation between God and the rest of our week. You know, one of my favorite movies is Chariots of Fire. If you've never seen it, you absolutely should. It tells the true story of a couple British sprinters getting ready for the 1924 Olympics. And one of them, Eric Liddell, is a guy who was born in China to missionary parents. And as he got into his 20s, he felt like God was calling him back to China to be a missionary. But first, he was training for the Olympics. And at one point, his sister confronted him because she felt like he was wasting God's purpose for his life, just running when he should be on mission. And he told her, no. I'm actually living into God's purpose. God's not in a hurry here. I believe God made me for a purpose, but He also made me fast. And when I run, I feel His pleasure. Like Eric Liddell ran for God's glory and for human edification because speed is beautiful. And he ended up winning gold in the 400 meters, set a world record. Then he went to China and did incredible mission work before dying in a Japanese internment camp during World War II when the Japanese Empire took over part of China. If you're a reader, there's a biography about his life called For the Glory. You should check it out. But anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. This quote, God made me fast, and when I run, I feel His pleasure. I believe to the core of my being that every single one of us can substitute the words fast and run in that sentence and feel the pleasure of God. God didn't make all of us fast, and I certainly don't feel His pleasure when I run. I just feel lactic acid and self-loathing. But God made us something, and when we do that, to the best of our ability, we can feel His pleasure. God made me this, and I feel His pleasure when I do it. And all of us can do that by adding value to the people around us and making the world a better place. Every one of us has the chance to live into what God made us to do and to do it excellently. We just got to open our eyes and our souls, and we will feel God's pleasure in our work because as we step into purpose, our work is worship that brings glory to God and flourishing to people. And work was always meant to be that. Our culture says work is punishment and it's awful and it's evil, but God says work is a gift. There's no way to read the creation poem in Genesis 1 and 2 without recognizing that Adam was meant to be a gardener, not a park ranger. He's put there to cultivate the garden, not guard the garden. And for him, that cultivation was worship. I mean, think about it. He didn't have a Bible to read. He didn't have a church building to go to. He didn't have a hymnal. He had no formal traditions or sacraments, so how did he worship? Well, he just had a garden and a God, and he worshiped by connecting with his Creator and creating with his Creator. His life wasn't just about avoiding some bad apples. It was about doing what he was made to do. So is yours and mine. You have the ability to put in effort that brings glory to God and value to people. The great theologian Martin Luther once said, "Our vocations are masks for the face of God." And what he meant is that God is working through us, through the gifts He's given us to bring daily bread and divine beauty to the lives of the people we crash into. So whatever you do, please hear me. Your work matters to God and to the world.